to our Monday live. Sorry, I'm looking for the ultimate lip color for today. I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's see if this is it. I don't know. Not bad. It's not glossy. I need gloss. I love a gloss. A glossy lip. Okay, there we go. All right, it is so lovely to see you all. I hope that you had a great weekend. We had a busy, it's been a busy week. I tried to rest this weekend and slow down a little. I have to tell you, I came homesick from Houston. I don't know if I caught something new or if I reinvigorated what I thought I had gotten over. I felt great the whole time I was gone. I really did feel wonderful, but then I got back, or actually I should say after the event, we stayed over till Monday, and Sunday night I was like, this isn't good. I called my husband. I hadn't really actually talked to him. I mean, I texted with him, but I kind of talked to him, and he said, "Oh, are you getting sick?" And I'm like, "No. Just I've been talking with all these people so much that I am losing my voice." And he's like, "Mm-hmm." And then I got home and I'm like, "I think I'm sick." So I promptly got home and the next day went to urgent care and more drugs for me. But I'm finally starting to feel better. I don't know why it takes so long. I don't know if it was being in Houston and the humidity and all the new stuff. I kind of feel like it was our hotel room and like stuff in the hotel room was blowing. I don't know, but can I just say I'm so sick of being sick? But here we are in a happy place, so we're not going to dwell on it. But I had a wonderful time in Houston with my besties. I was so excited because I've been working super hard. Well, let's be honest. I've been working on watercolor stamp camp since a year ago, but I've been trying to get the final details worked out with that. I have a meeting scheduled with my husband. He has to be involved in this because we've been working on some really cool stuff for that together. So I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping that I will have all of that stuff out for registration come the end of this week. And what is really wonderful is that I am, I just lost my train. Oh, yes, sorry. I was like, I lost my train of thought. No, it's back. What I'm really excited about is that we're kind of changing it up a little bit based on some feedback and kind of, to be honest, something I'm really excited about is instead of it being like just a weekend kind of event, it's going to be a course that is a little longer. So it's stretched out over several weeks. I'm thinking 6 weeks-ish, but you know me, it might go longer than that because I just sometimes can't help myself. But I think it's really going to be great for that. So anyway, it's going to be so much fun. And what I also love about it is I'm really gearing it towards, let's see, the process. And I'll just say that if you liked the swatching part, you're going to love this course. It's going to be so awesome. So we're going to make a variety of different things. We're going to learn all kinds of fun new techniques. I watercolor like every day, you guys. I mean, just about every day. I brought watercolors to Houston. I watercolored in Houston because I was like, I can't not do it for a whole week. I wasn't gone a whole week, but anyway. So I really laughed because Kelly and Barb were like, you just watercolored that, like right here. I'm like, yes, I did. So anyway, I think it's going to be really fun. I really love the idea of spreading it out and making sure that people can enjoy it for a longer period of time too. So anyway, it's going to be great. It's also going to be on a new platform, which I've been working on. So I think you're going to like that as well. So anyway, there you go. All right. Well, I have tons of stuff to share with you today. So first off, I wanted to share a few of my goodies from OnStage. Of course, I think I can only show the cover of the catalog, and it's on my computer desk over there right now. So I'm not going to share that right now, but I wanted to show some of the goodies that we got. I do have, because they just came, my ink pads of the new colors. So I'm excited about that. We got some fun goodies at OnStage that just make me happy. Happy, happy, happy. This is probably the most awesome one. And before you say, oh, can we buy that? I don't know. I don't know. So that's all I know. But this color wheel. But I will just say that the back side of this, not this thing right here, but the back side of this is in the catalog. So there's a picture of this in the catalog. It's this piece that spins that's different. So the catalog is really going to be pretty cool. It's definitely different, but it's really cool. So anyway, we will be diving deeply into this. Yay! Come the future. And also, I don't know what kind of material they printed it on, but I like to touch it. So thanks. A few of you have been commenting on my sweatshirt. Thank you. It's new. This was a gift from Stampin' Up! For the top achievers that we got when we checked in. So that was kind of a fun little surprise. I ordered a sweatshirt that I'm kind of excited to get from Stampin' Up!, but they weren't ready, so they're coming in April, they told us. So that should be kind of cool. Is my stamp camp conducive to beginners? Yes, it's perfect for everyone. I would say the other two courses standalone are great, but if you have never done one and join with this, you'll be fine. Okay, so let me show you a few other things we got. So this just makes my heart happy. This was one of our all attendee giveaways, the Leaf Collection. It's a background stamp, and it's just glorious. I love this. Let's see. What else did we get? This is really funny. This is a shirt I got. I haven't even opened it yet, so we should do that now. What's funny is they asked for my sweatshirt size and I said extra large. I think I had to say the size a long time ago. And then it was maybe later, I don't know. But I ordered a size medium t-shirt and I think it's gonna fit. So here's my medium t-shirt. I think it'll be good. So I'm not sure. They said, well, we got these shirts at Backstage and they said they were the same sizing as that. And the one I got at Backstage was really big. So anyway, you don't need to know all this except that this is a fun shirt and yay. Okay. Oh, well, the coolest thing we got, the backpacks. So first of all, it was so nice of them to put it in my signature color, black with a pop of color. And while the color might technically be Summer Splash, it is of course Coastal Cabana for me. And then there is some Melon Mambo accents, which I just love. Of course, it says Stampin' Up! Right here. And it's just a wonderfully fabulous backpack. It's even got the thing that slips over your luggage, you know, handle thing. And then inside of it is this cool thing, which pulls out, which I thought was super cool. And actually, is there still stuff in there? Yes, there is. I still have some little treats in here from the event. Like, look at this. This is so cute. So anyway, oh, this is super cute too. This is from Nancy, who's on my team. Okay, this is a little, it's like a tea bag holder. Like, how cool is that? Okay. Amy, don't talk about Coastal Cabana retiring. It's not happening. So the backpack, by the way, was what we all got when we checked in. So that was pretty cool. Oh, and then you know what else we got? I keep forgetting them. This is so funny. I thought, oh, I'll be so smart and put these in this pocket. And then I kept forgetting they were in there and I could never find them. Sometimes when there's too many pockets, it's tough. But we got these pens, which I would say are loosely or totally the new in colors. No, they're totally the in colors. Well, I say loosely because this one is pretty pink, and let's be honest, this is a bit brighter than pretty pink, but anyway, it is pretty cool. So anyway, we got this little thing. I'm trying to decide if I should just pull everything out and show it to you. It's really cool because it's adjustable. Like there's little sections in here and you can adjust them. Mine is kind of a mess, but I have all kinds of fun little treats, like this one right here. All these cutie patooties. Did you make this one, Sherry? I think this one was from you. So cool. Any chance they'll sell the backpacks in the future? I doubt it, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. If they did, they would probably be, if they did, they'd probably only be for demo purchase, but I'm not positive. I can't answer that accurately, so I don't know. Okay. Sometimes when they have like leftover stuff from OnStage, they do let demonstrators purchase it on a demonstrator order. Okay. Here we go. So, love it. Then, okay, what else do I have? Oh, we got a new kit. This was another all attendee giveaway, and it's a fun one. So it's called the Hooray for Honeycomb kit, and I'm not sure when this comes out, but I would say soon-ish. And it's so fun. It has these little honeycomb elements. So like when you open your card, it's got the, you know, you have to do it with that sound. Okay, so hooray for honeycomb kit. So these are the honeycomb accents. So that's like a balloon, a sunshine, and a strawberry. So they're so sweet. Anyway, it's an all inclusive kit. So like here's the little honeycomb things. I can even open it up. So this one is the balloon. Can you hear the sound? Exaggerated for you. Actually, maybe down here is where the sound is. You're welcome. I tried to put it on my phone I almost said microwave. Microphone. Okay. So anyway, this will be fun to play with. And you're welcome for the sounds. I like to say I'm a visual person, but I'll be honest, I like having sound effects for things as well. Okay, so anything else important to share with you? Oh, this is fun. I say this because it was a gift that I gave as part of a treat for my team members who attended OnStage. My assistant Whitney helped me make these. I adhered the notes and butterflies to this, but she made an extra one so I could have a gift. I even got the treats that were in it, like the snacks. So anyway, I thought you guys would find this funny. But this is this little notebook that we made. And by the way, if you were in our lavender retreat, yes, these are the same notebooks from that. But I thought these were really fun. I love notebooks. Ask Whitney. I might not be allowed to purchase notebooks, but I can make them. Okay. Anyway. But I thought these were cute little notebooks, and it just makes me happy. So I've got this sitting here at my desk. I think that's most of the things that I wanted to share with you. Oh, I've got one more prize patrol. So one of the things Stampin' Up! Does is they always have prize patrols. So like we had a number on our name badge. for Price Patrol, and I got the Frames and Flowers 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. So I love this, by the way. It's specialty DSP that has full sheets plus like cutout frames and flowers. It's like the name. So let me show you. Actually, I'm gonna flip my camera so you can see it better, and then I have some more stuff to show you, like the ink pads. Yay. Okay. So, one sec. I have to clean up the mess so that when I flip my camera, you won't see the mess on my desk. They're like, yeah, right, Dina, we know. We know. Okay. Ooh, sorry, that was jiggly. Oh, I always do this. I almost turned the live off. Okay, so here we go. Here is the paper. So it's pretty, kind of soft and pretty, very springy, summery. So there's 1, 2, and then there's one more underneath all of this. There's 3 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, so very pretty paper. And then there are 3 sheets of these die cuts, so you can see their frames and their flowers. No kidding, but like, isn't that cool? So there's lots of flowers, beautiful frames. I suppose because they look watercolory, I love them already. But they're really fun. So here's one sheet. This looks like it's different than the first sheet. So each one is a little different. Oh, look at that one. Oh, so pretty. And then this piece these are frames that you can, they're kind of like backing. Well, this one does have the center cut out. I was going to say they're kind of like card layers for a card base, but they also are frames. Some of them are frames, and then this is, so half and half, and then there's this big long strip. Anyway, you get it. Very fun stuff. So I was kind of excited about that. Everybody got a prize, which was so nice. I love it when everybody gets a prize. It wasn't always like that. Some people got prizes and some people didn't in Prize Patrol. I mean, there were also all attendee giveaways, but this was kind of a fun gift. Okay, let me get rid of this. I forgot to share with you. This was in our backpacks too. This is another really awesome journal. I got mine wet, which made me kind of mad, but it's not too bad. So mine is a little lumpy and bumpy, but it's a really nice journal, and it's bright and happy, which makes me happy. And also there's macaroni on it. They had these just fun kind of graphics, but I keep looking at this and all I can see is macaroni. You're welcome. All right, now let's take a look at the new in colors really quick. So this is, of course, I think the most exciting thing. They brought back Pretty in Pink, which I don't know how to feel about that, but I guess I'm going to forgive them because they're also introducing a new color, which is called Basic Beige. So we'll take a look at all these colors here really quick. I do have a sheet that I stamped and put a little swatch of cardstock and a little swatch of marker on each of them, but I don't know what I did with that. I don't know. It might be in my catalog on my desk, but it's something we used to do years and years ago, and we hadn't done it in a long time, so it was pretty fun to do it again. But let's quick look at these colors. They are lovely. They're kind of bright, but yet subtle, so that's fun. I like that they're still bright. They're definitely cheerful. Now, if you're wondering, yes, I will be doing In Color Club, which will be really fun. Again this year, so you can enjoy all of the perks of that. But here we go. So there are 5 new colors plus this beige, which is kind of a standalone color, kind of like vanilla is and white is. So let's take a look at these quick. I've got just a little scrap here. We can stamp something. Let me see. I'm gonna take the heart from my bee set. And let's just stamp the hearts. Okay, so first of all, let's do beige. It's gonna get its own piece of paper because it's not an in color, it's just kind of a standalone color. Now, I would say this is somewhere between River Rock and Sahara Sand, I guess. It's, I don't know. Hard to say. And by the way, I don't think the first stamping of an ink pad is the most accurate either, because it's usually a really juicy ink pad, which kind of skews the results, so to speak. And you saw it here. I just literally opened this up, these ink pads up, so they're fresh. I haven't done a single thing with them. They tend to be pretty juicy at the get-go, but here we go. Okay, I'm going to start with Peach Pie, which I'm very excited about. All right. Then we'll do Pretty in Pink. Now that's a color you might recall we used to have many years ago. It is back. And that's good. This is, I know I'm not going to know the names of these. Petunia Pop. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't say it. Okay, then we have Summer Splash. Don't worry, we'll compare it to Coastal Cabana here in just a moment. And then finally, we've got Shy Shamrock. Okay, so those are our colors. Oh, they are going to be fun. Gosh, I haven't had a new ink pad in a while. They're a little tough to open and close the first couple times, but after a couple times, they loosen right up. Okay, because I know this is giving somebody the shakes. We'll close all these ink pads up. But I really like them. And then down here, I'm going to do my Coastal Cabana. Now, keep in mind, my Coastal Cabana is probably on the drier side. So it's going to be similar, but it's not quite as juicy. They're different. I would say this is slightly warmer than this. I know that's not a very good comparison, but they are real similar. But we can probably see it a little better in the cardstock. So, oh, I just happened to have a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock handy. And then here is Summer Splash. I would say it's a little richer and more vibrant color. And maybe, I don't want to say warmer. I'd say it's, this color almost looks flat in comparison. Of course, I would never say that on its own, but there you go. That's all I got. They're really similar though, aren't they? But similar yet different. All right. So it's always fun getting to know the new in colors. I love that part, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, somebody just said they got 7 to 10 inches. I'm so sorry. It's raining here. Basic beige makes me not mind so much that Sahara Sand is gone. Right? I agree. I always tended to go towards Crumb Cake, I think because I like the cardstock so much. I used Sahara Sand, but not like Crumb Cake. And this beige is definitely different. Here's the cardstock. It's much lighter. Like it almost, it's very different. For instance, there's Crumb Cake. Big difference. I don't have a piece of Sahara Sand handy, but Sahara Sand is much closer to this than this, I would say. So very different color, and it will be kind of fun. So you can see why it's a neutral. And by the way, when I say neutral, I mean it's just kind of a standalone color. It's not in a color family. Okay. Ooh, Sahara Sage, or Basic Beige is like Sahara Sand stamped off. Yeah. Okay. Do the DSP packs have the coordinating colors? What do you mean by do the DSP pack? Do you mean like the color families? Or do you mean on the packaging? So yes, the color coordinating colors are on the DSP. That's what you mean, Terry. Okay. Lots of questions. Let's see. Wonder if peach pie is at all like mango melody. No, I would say it reminds me, let's see, it's softer. It's mango was orange. Like this is peachier, for lack of a better. This is definitely softer, a more subtle color. It reminds me of a color we had. It was probably one of the very first in colors we had, like with Cool Caribbean, if you can remember back then. There was a color. What was it called? Summer something? It reminds me of that, but it's still lighter. Again, I haven't really done the work, so to speak. Like I haven't brought up all the stuff to compare and contrast, but yeah. Okay. On the back of pack, because the catalog doesn't have it anymore. Yep, it's on the back. Apricot? Well, that was a different color. And yeah, this is probably closer to apricot, but still different. Again, I just don't have all the colors handy, but we'll work on that. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Fun colors coming. So again, that all starts in May. So watch for that. Then got some fun mail to share with you. So I hadn't done mail in a little while, but here we go. So look at this pretty little watercolor card. This is from Anne, who's on my team for Easter. So thank you so much, Anne. I loved this card so much. It's so cute. Another beautiful card. This is from another person on my team. This is from Karen. By the way, these cards just came today, so that was exciting. So Karen sent this beautiful, and I just have to read this because it makes my heart so happy. It says, I'm so glad you are in my life. I love my SU family and so appreciate all you do for me and us as our team leader. Thank you for my goodies and gems for my locket. So and my team, you can earn gems. You earn a locket and gems for different things. It is getting quite full. So thank you, Karen. I just love this. Isn't that pretty? With the lavender suite of goodies. Thank you so much. This is from Anna. She said, thank you so much for the Easter lily stamps and dies as a prize for our February challenge, which reminds me, we have our March challenge going through the end of the month. So make sure you get yourself entered and check out the samples because there have been some really wonderful cards created. And that's in my Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook group. The link is in the description of this video. Here is another beautiful Easter card that I received from Lynn, who's on my team as well. So thank you so much, Lynn. That's with that beautiful dainty DSP from last year. Here's a bright, happy card that I received from Wendy, who's on my team. And she's so sweet. I hope you had fun at OnStage. I can't wait to see the new in colors. Well, there you go. And thank you so much for the sweet card, Wendy. I appreciate it. Here's another cutie patootie from Mary, who is on my team. Gosh, they're sending such sweet cards. Then, okay, I have to tell you, there is another card that I received, but I'm not showing it because I'm totally using it in my Sunshine and Creativity box next month, which is going to feature the zinnias. So I just had to throw that out there. Oh, here's another beautiful card from Kathy, who's on my team. Or no, this one is from Judy. Sorry, this envelope is, I bet that's from the next card. Anyway, Judy is on my team, and she had a really sweet thank you card for me. So thank you so much, Judy. And yep, this is the one from Kathy. So pretty. I love this design. Oh, I could do this design over and over and over again. So gorgeous. Thank you, Kathy, so much. Another beautiful card. I just learned that this Light and Airy Designer Series paper was the top choice for celebration this year. So that was interesting to learn, but look at how pretty this is. And this is also from Kathy, who's on my team. And she said, I can't believe it's already been 5 years of being a demonstrator. Time flies, Kathy, when you're having a good time, doesn't it? Here's another pretty card. This one features the detailed dogwood. I think that's what it's called. Detailed dogwood. And it's watercolored, my favorite. So thank you so much, Leanne. I really appreciate it. And I am so glad you loved your goodies. Another fun and simple card from Carol, who's on my team. Wonderful. Oh, I just love this designer series paper. That's the Meandering Meadow. You can just do so many fun things with this. Here is another pretty card. This one is from Joanne. And she won a prize from the Lavender Stamping Escape. So I'm so glad you got your goodies, Joanne. And what a fun card. This is with that ombre glimmer paper we had, I think about a year ago. It retired. It's so pretty. And aren't these just cute dies? Then here is another beautiful card. This one, oh, can I read this one? Can I just... I hope she doesn't get mad at me. So this is from Cindy, who's on my team, and she was for many, many, many years a very, very good customer of mine. And she wrote just the sweetest card. Wanted to thank you for remembering my 3-year anniversary with Stampin' Up! For blah, 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 blah. You're so thoughtful. I'm so thankful that I met you so many years ago. Even though I stopped stamping for quite a few years, when I was looking for something fun to do and something to stimulate my brain, I found that stamping and creating with paper was just what I needed. So sure glad to find you again. You are truly simply marvelous. Now, I don't read these to be boastful, but it's so wonderful to hear such awesome things from people. Whether you're on my team or you're watching my videos or whatever, it's just really lovely to hear the impact stamping has on your life. I know it has truly been something that has made a huge difference in my life. So I just love reading those messages. That's why I wanted to share them with you. Here is another gorgeous Easter card. Gosh, I loved that DSP. Do you guys remember that from a few years ago? That's from Brenda, who's on my team. And by the way, the best card sender I know. She sends so many wonderful cards. And I'm so lucky to get so many of them. This is from Anne, who, bless her heart, she is on Kelly's team. And she just said she had the best time at our Lavender Dreams weekend, and so I really appreciate the thank you from you, Anne. And another pretty card. This is from Tana, who's just so sweet, and she was thanking me for a card we sent to her husband. So you are so welcome. And finally, look at this. Oh, I want to go right here, right now. I'm having spring break. What's the word? Envy or regret, I guess. We went to OnStage instead of spring break this year, and I really was hoping to go on a little tropical escape, but it just didn't work out. But I am going on a tropical escape next month, which I'm pretty excited about for the Stampin' Up! Trip. But this is from Sharon, who is just the sweetest, and I love the card. It's so much fun. So thank you for that, Sharon. I appreciate it. And sending you a big hug, my dear, on this dreary day here. I know this because it's probably dreary where she lives. She's just a couple hours from me. Anyway, thank you all so very much for the mail you send to me. It makes my day so bright and happy to receive mail from you. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right, guys, it is time to stamp. So sorry if you've been hanging on through all of this fun stuff that I've been sharing. Oh, sorry, I have to one more note from our sponsors. First off, I'm making 3 fabulous cards today featuring the Enduring Beauty stamp set, and I think you're going to find it interesting what cards we create with this set. By the way, they don't all involve coloring, only one does. So I think you're going to enjoy that. Plus, I've got some fun techniques that are really great, and this will work with lots of different sets. I'm guessing you might have a stamp set with a large outline floral image. So this will work for any set like that. But I do really love this Enduring Beauty. Now you can get a card kit with all the goodies that I used to make these projects when you spend $35 or more in my online store between now and Sunday, which is Easter, the 31st. So if you spend $50, you will also get the All-Star tutorial PDF, which is on the Rock and Roll Suite this month. These cards are super fun, totally great for teens and tweens, and really anybody in your life, but for sure kind of that tricky card niche that is teens and tweens. And then if you spend $75, you'll also get an embellishment to go with your card kit. Now, at this time of year, I'm not going to guarantee the embellishment. You're going to get one of the ones I used today. And the reason I say that is because as our retirement list was announced, I can't guarantee that I'll get product of a certain kind, but I might be able to. We'll see. Anyway, please use my host code this month when you check out. It's in the description of this video and everything. We also have just a week left to subscribe to the Sunshine and Creativity delivered for April. When you subscribe during March, you'll get the April box, which features cards for spring featuring the Zinnia bundle, which I'm so excited about. The cards are really wonderful. I already have them planned, which is pretty good for me. I'm not typically this far ahead, which makes me happy. So I would say this is a don't miss one, because gosh, it's going to be good. If you have any questions, let me know. And the Latte Love class is coming out later this week. If you are registered, I can't wait to send you some happy mail. If you're not yet registered, just drop me a line to get registered. I'm also sending an email out if you're on my newsletter list tomorrow, which will have the details for that as well. And of course, that's from last month. And of course, you can get the Rock and Roll All-Star PDF if you would like for $15. Link is in the description, or free with a purchase in my online store of $50 or more. Okay, so let's get stamping. Now, the projects that I have today are kind of a lovely little variety, if I can just say. I'm kind of proud of myself. This first card is an easy one. Now I'm using my Stamparatus, and I realize we don't carry it anymore, but you either might have a Stamparatus or some kind of stamp positioning tool that will aid you in the creation of these projects, or you can simply use a big block to do this, but it's pretty easy to stamp with this. I just, on the bigger cards, I find it easier to use my Stamparatus. All right, so I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and we're going to do a really complicated stamping. Just kidding, we're not. We're just going to ink it up in black. All right, now you can do this card a variety of different ways, but I'm going to simply ink it up in black. I'm using Memento ink, and part of why I love Memento ink is it cleans up really nicely. And because I'm using my stamp positioner, if I don't get a good stamping, I can simply restamp it. Of course, I moved this, so we'll see if I can get it back in there. I think I'll be okay. I hope, because I did not stamp it perfectly. So let's see if we can do it. Should have had both of my magnets out. Oh, I think that's probably pretty good. Will the stamping gods be with us today? We shall find out here in just a moment. Oh, they were. It's glorious. Thank you, stamping gods. Now, I'm going to set that aside for just a moment because I'm also going to stamp the next card really quick. And the reason is I want it to dry before we do our next step. So I'm going to clean this off, because our next card is not going to be black ink. It's going to be blue ink. Let me get another. These are the pads from old Stampin' Scrubs that I'm using. Oh, I guess I could use my chamois too, but anyway, you get the idea. All right, I'm going to stamp this once again. This is just a scrap piece of white for this one, and I know I have another magnets in place. It's probably stuck to something. Haha. Told you I had another one. Okay. As I mentioned, I'm going to stamp this in some Night of Navy ink. Or maybe I didn't say that. But we're going to do this because we want the ink to be really good and dry before we do our next step so that it doesn't smear. And it is a rainy day today. So we'll probably even hit it with our heat tool. Now, just because I am living on the wild side, I'm going to clean this off so that the last card, which we're going to heat emboss with Versamark, we're going to clean this off so I don't accidentally stamp my Versamark pad with a dirty stamp. That's thinking ahead. Aren't you guys proud of me for being proactive? All right. So back to our first card with the black. Now, this is a lovely card, if I can just say. It's just a simple black stamping, and you can really turn it either way, this way or this way. I think either way works. But what we're going to do for this is we're going to punch a circle out of the center of this, okay? And you can use, let's see, I think I'm going to use this wavy circle punch. So I'm going to punch this out of this layer. And then I just want to verify, is it the 2-inch or the 2 1/4? It's the 2-inch circle. Okay, so you will need a roughly 2-inch circle to do this. And what you want to do is choose a spot you'd like to highlight. Okay, so I'm just going to punch that right there. And we're going to highlight this spot, and we're going to put it back together kind of like a puzzle piece. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two layers together, even though there's holes through them. Here, I'll put it. Oh, there's still going to be a hole. It doesn't matter because you won't see this. But we'll just glue these two together. Now, on this next part, if you wanted to color this in, you could. It's up to you. You could use watercolor pencils, you could use Stampin' Blends, whatever you want, but what I'm going to do is keep it simple, and I'm going to attach my wavy circle and my 2-inch circle together and then fit this in like it is a puzzle piece, which means I have to turn it to fit correctly, which is roughly not like that. Jeez, you can do it, Dina. Come on. There we go. You want to make sure it's on here correctly. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to, maybe I'm doing this all wrong, but we'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there. I'm popping up this layer, and then I'm going to adhere this layer. If I can get it all lined up again. That is the question. I think we got it. I think we're good. All right. So there we go. So simple and pretty, right? Okay, we're going to take and adhere this to our card. Where is my bone folder? I almost call it the other thing we call a bone folder. I can't because of the YouTube. They don't like that. All right, so we're going to put this on here, but we're going to add another little touch to this one. And there's a lot of different options that you can use, but I think I'm actually going to put a pop of Pool Party in this in the form of ribbon. Ooh, that might have been too short. Now, of course, we'll give you the ribbon and everything to make this card. But, oh, so fun. I love that little pop of color. And as you know, black and white with a pop of color is like the best color combination ever. Okay, now what I'm going to also do is I'm going to put a dimensional right here and right here. This is just going to keep it even with what the rest of the card is, but we've got that hole right there and I wanted to take up that space. All right, we're going to add that to this. Okay, and then let's embellish. Oh, maybe we'll just do these as our embellishments this year, because these are not retiring. I'm actually changing my mind. So I assume, I didn't check if these were available. I assume they are, but these will work. These ombre dots will be perfect. So you'll get that with a $75 purchase in my online store or more. Okay, so what's so fun about this is you can kind of do this however you want. So I'm going to add some of these dots right here to the color or to the highlighted section. You can add more if you want. And then maybe I'll put a couple of smaller ones on the outside area like that. So pretty. Okay, now this stamp set has lots of different sentiments. So we're going to put one on the inside. And, you know, I have to say these are not my favorite sentiments. Some of them are really nice and easy to work with and wonderful. Some of them are not. But you guys are going to giggle at me. I'm going to take a picture of this card really quick because I want to show you the option of coloring it. So pardon me while I take my camera out to take a picture of this. Okay, there you go. That way I can just have it. But what I think I want to do is actually color this in with a little bit of color on this spotlighted section. And you've probably seen this technique before. It's not really groundbreaking or new or anything, but I just feel like if we colored this in, it would be really fun. Now that I kind of started, I'm going a different direction than I was planning with my embellishments, so bear with me. That's the great thing about lives. You just never know what's going to happen, especially with me, because I like to change things up. So I'm using Pool Party, and I'm starting with my dark Pool Party marker, and I'm just kind of coloring on some of these areas of the flowers. And I like to color where there's lines with my dark, and then we'll blend everything with our light. I'm also a pretty big fan of using the bullet end of my Stampin' Blends because I really think that they last longer when you use the bullet end. It can take the beating, so to speak, of coloring, especially on the lighter marker, which is where I tend to, this is a squeaky one, where I tend to kind of get a little more aggressive in my coloring. And also, I'm very excited that we're coloring this in because I think it looks really nice, spotlighted on this technique. I do really like the black and white, though. I mean, I'm a big fan of that. I was going to use twine for this card, but then I kind of got a wild hair, and here we are. I've changed a few different things about this already from my original plan, but hey. Okay, there we go. So pretty. Then we'll do a little green, and I'm feeling like this is a Granny Apple green situation. Here we go. All right, so what are y'all saying? Oh, lovely and sunny. Good for you.
you've been binging some of my old videos and love the designs I did 5 or 6 years ago. Oh, that's awesome. Joan says she likes this technique. She's not usually a card maker and doesn't like to color. You struggle. I totally get that. What is the name of the embellishments? Ombre Matte Decorative Dots. Okay. You know, there's certain types of coloring I like. I love watercoloring just because I find it really relaxing to do. I know not everybody likes watercoloring, but I totally get what you're saying. Sometimes I'm in the mood to watercolor and sometimes I'm not, or to color in general, not just watercolor. It really just kind of depends. Sometimes I'm in the mood to do different types of coloring. And actually in our next card, you're going to see a completely different way to work with this stamp set. We're actually using it 3 different ways. One was going to be not coloring at all, but then I decided I had to color anyway. Here we are. It happens. But you could do this with just black and white, or you could do it monochromatic with just a color. So for instance, I could have done this in just Pool Party or Night of Navy or Highland Heather or Fresh Freesia. I mean, really almost any color combination. I could do just a nice ombre, or I'm sorry, a nice monochromatic, meaning one color card. But anyway, I like that. All right, so there we go. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to put a sentiment on the inside of this stamp or card, pardon me. And one of the things I was saying is I'm not a huge fan of the sentiments in this set. They're nice, but I don't know. I wish, like, it says you mean so much to so many, and that's a lovely sentiment. I don't have a problem with that. But I just wish, like, it's always been you. Well, okay, who am I sending that card to? My husband? I'm not going to make him a flowery card with that sentiment on it. And who else am I sending it to? I don't know. I just think that's kind of a limiting sentiment. I do like holding you close in my heart. We are going to use that on a card. Embrace the beauty of you. I guess that's okay. But again, I wouldn't send that to a lot of people. I don't know. Love endures all things. That's nice. But again, kind of specific situations are you using that sentiment? So I don't know. You can certainly substitute other sentiments. I tried to fix this ribbon and made it worse. But there we go. So there's our first. Oh my gosh. Come on, Dina. You can do this. I was going to say this ribbon is so lovely. It is actually, but sometimes the person with the scissors isn't as good. So there we go. Pretty simple. Next up, we're going to take it a little step further. So you remember we stamped this in Night of Navy. Now, just to be sure, and only because it's rainy and I'm in my basement, I'm just going to heat this up with my heat tool just to make sure it's real good and dry. I do believe I have yip-yapped long enough for this to be the case. But we want this ink to not bleed, if at all possible, for what we're about to do next. And that is use the stencils that come in the bundle for this. So this is one of our slightly unique bundles in that there are stencils that are part of the bundle. So I'm just going to take this old messy piece of paper. I actually kind of like that there's a little bit of ink on it because it makes it easier to see. I'm going to put this right here in the center. And actually, I think this is technically the direction up. Now, the stencils, or decorative masks, as we here at Stampin' Up! Like to call them, are numbered, which makes them really wonderful to use. So each stencil has a number. You can see this is number 1, and then there's a little notch. So what I like to do with this, and maybe I did have it right the first time, is take my stencil, kind of situate it on my card. It's never the way I think it is going to be. I really thought I had this on correctly, by the way, so it'd be nice and square. But this actually works even better because what I'm going to do is take a pencil or a pen And here, I'll do it with this pen so you can see. And mark the corner. So I'm just tracing the corner and that little notch on my paper here. And then each stencil is going to line up with that mark that I just made. So each new stencil, I just line up with that. I do like to double check it to make sure, you know, it's lined up with the stamped image as well, but it typically is. Now, if you feel better about taping this down or using like Post-its or whatever, you certainly can. I'm going to live wild and not on the wild side and not do that, but you certainly can. Okay, I'm going to color this with, I'm going to start with Petal Pink. And I'm going to do 2 colors for my main flowers. These top 3, I'm going to start with Petal Pink. And then the bottom 3, I'm going to do Bubble Bath. So I've got Petal Pink, which is kind of a warm pink, and then the bottom 3 are going to be a little darker, which is Bubble Bath, or a little pinkier. There we go. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't get too much ink blending. I'm not going to lie, I got a little. So one way you could prevent that from happening is, 1, make sure your ink is really dry. 2, you could emboss it with clear powder or whatever color powder so that it's not going to blend, but it's pretty minimal here, so we're good. Okay, I'm going to line this back up, put it back in, and then I'm going to switch my colors and do these bottom 2 in Bubble Bath. And here we go. By the way, I feel like the ink blending was pretty minimal. It's not too bad. Like, I'm not worried about it messing up my ink pad or anything. But there we go. That blended just a teeny bit more, but I still think it's okay. All right, let's do the second. Oops, that was 3. Where's 2? Oh, 2 is the greenery. Interesting. So we're good. We're getting the solid colors out of the way. So again, I'm lining my corner back up and then just kind of fine tuning the rest. Now for this one, I'm going to use some Old Olive ink as my lighter green. And then we'll just color these in. And look at this. So this is really a great way to color without having to do fancy coloring. And look at how perfect that all is. All right, so that was number 2 stencil. Let me get rid of that. Number 3 is going to be the centers of my flowers. So once again, we'll line up our corner. And this time we're going to use Calypso Coral for the top and Fresh Freesia for the bottom. Okay, here's my Calypso Coral. Is this my Calypso Coral? No, I think that's my Fresh Freesia. I bet this is my Calypso Coral. Okay. So I've got my stencil or my decorative mask lined up. Stop moving it, Dina. Okay, I feel like this is off just a skosh. But it's tricky because this whole stencil just works a little differently than what you would think of, I think. Okay, so I'm just putting that darker pink color down. Again, Calypso Coral is my color. And then I'm going to finish up with Fresh Freesia, which I hope that might not be my next one, but that's okay. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 is greens. Sorry, we're doing greens next. So for this, I'm going to use Garden Green for the darker green color. And once again, lining that corner up and just adjusting slightly. Okay. There we go. Oh, garden green is lovely. It's a nice, vibrant, rich green color. And it's going to pair nicely with our old olive first layer. And voila, look at that. So pretty. Okay. Then our next decorative mask is, somewhere. Here we go. That was 4. This is 5. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't finish this one. I forgot I needed to change colors. So I'm bringing this back, lining her up, and then we're doing fresh freesia. I'm like, I swear I'm doing this in the right order. Here we go. Now there is one additional decorative mask that you can use. Okay, so there we go. And that is number 5, with which, oh my gosh, I just had it in my hand. Here we go. This is just going to add a little touch to the very centers of these. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use Poppy Parade and a little Highland Heather. Okay. So Poppy Parade for those top 3. And you can see it's just a tiny bit, but whew, she packs a punch, doesn't she? So pretty. And we'll replace that, and then we'll switch to Highland Heather to add a little bit more. Let's see, I'm going to switch to this blending brush, which is more purples. Make sure I'm all lined up here. Sometimes it freaks me out. I'm like, oh, I just covered it up. No, we're good. And voila. Okay. So there we just did all this beautiful, glorious coloring. I've got all these ink pads open, so let's quick close them up. So I'll show you all the colors once again. So we use kind of a lot on here. All right, so we started with Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Poppy Parade. Then we did Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, and Highland Heather. And then we had, we stamped originally in Night of Navy, and then we had Garden Green, and I'm missing one, Old Olive. So this is quite a stack of colors, but look at how pretty it is. Oh, so fun. Okay, I swear I've got half my ink pads out. Let's quick throw them all back, and then we're going to put our card together. Now for this, well, these aren't exactly in the right order, but that's okay. Close enough. Okay, we're going to die cut this piece. Let me quick do that. So there's a die, of course, that coordinates with this, which seems to be under something. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to line it all up. And whenever I die cut anything like this, I definitely like to put a Post-it or 2 on here to make sure it doesn't budge, because that would make me crazy. After all that coloring, if it moved on me, that would be no bueno. Okay, there it is. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to put some Clear Wink Castella on here. Now, I know Clear Wink Castella has not been available for a while. We just finally got an update from Stampin' Up, which told us that the demand has just skyrocketed and the manufacturer's been struggling to keep up with demand. And this is across like everybody. It's not just Stampin' Up. So they're working on it and they anticipate it will be back in stock in May. So not much longer a wait. So hopefully that will hold true. Of course, if it's earlier, I will certainly post about it. All right, I've got this on here just to add a little sparkle and shimmer. Now let's put our card together for this. So I'm going to start with a petal pink card base. And here's my bone folder. Give that a good crease. I've cut some designer series paper. This is from the what is this stuff called? Something about eclectic. Delightfully eclectic designer series paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and then this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 Night of Navy. And I've die cut a label out of here. This is from the set of dies that coordinate with this bundle. And we're just going to layer that on. And this is obviously where I got my color inspiration from, is this designer series paper. So I kind of love the colors and think it's going to be just wonderful. Okay. Then let's see. I am going to pop this up onto my card, mainly because I can. I always like popping things up if I can. So I think it's fun. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that paper is kind of busy, and you're going to put that busy colored floral on top of it. Isn't that going to be a bit much? And the answer to that is yes, it is. But we're going to use the secret sauce, which is vellum. I'm going to put a piece of vellum over the top. I can still see that gorgeous designer series paper, but we're going to cover it up so that there's a little bit of a break between the two. And doesn't that really just work? By the way, I think I want it this way. Okay, so we've got that on there. I'm going to pop this piece up on here as well. And then once again, our embellishments, several of them are going to coordinate with this, pretty much almost all of them, which is perfect. Got a bunch of different pieces on here. We'll just kind of center that like so. And again, you can really turn it either way. It's kind of your own personal preference. And then remember, we had this label that we die cut ahead of time. So let's take our embossing buddy and stamp our sentiment. Now this one I was going to use Holding You Close in My Heart, because I think that is just a nice sentiment for somebody going through a hard time, whether it's a sympathy card or just, you know, maybe they have an extended illness or, you know, lost a job. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons this card could be used. But let's stamp it. Just to be sure, I'm going to use my less than pristine Versamark. And then I'll stamp that right on there. And we'll heat her up with some white powder to make her pop. Because there's the only thing as good as white embossing powder on black cardstock. The only thing almost as good as that is Night of Navy cardstock and white embossing. All right, so we'll quick heat that up. I think I met new readers because I'm struggling to see things. It's like my body is saying, you're not quite as young as you used to be, Missy. Don't be getting cocky. All right. By the way, sorry about that noise. I sort of chucked this. Okay, I always struggle where, like, which part of the flower do I want to cover up? It's so hard to pick. I think I'm going to go right there because then you'll see just about everything. Okay, and I'm going to once again, kind of somewhat shamelessly, pop this layer up once again. I realize that's a lot of pop-ups on a single card, but it's so pretty. Okay, so there we go. And then I can take and add some of my little matte dots, and I think I'm going to take the Night and Navy and just kind of really highlight the centers of these cards. Oops. Or flowers. What? Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. We'll put 1, 2 there, and then maybe another, because I believe pretty strongly in odd numbers. We'll put a third one right there. And there you go. Oh, so pretty. Now you can stamp something on the inside if you want. But I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, so there's 2 versions for this. The third is my favorite, and actually I think it's the easiest, and it's watercoloring. Now to make this process a little quicker, I did a little ahead of time work. I stamped and embossed this in Versamark and heated it with copper powder from our metallics embossing powders. And so I just quick did this. We're going to start with a, oh, you know, I was so brilliant thinking ahead, but I forgot to emboss the panel that goes on top of this, so that's all right. We'll get it. I'm going to start with a crumb cake card base, and I chose crumb cake because this allows you to use really whatever color combination you want. I'm going to include a layer of Granny Apple Green, which you can die cut the label out of. And I'm using Fluid 100 watercolor paper, by the way. And then I also have a piece of yellow. Now I could color my flowers in, this is Daffodil Delight, by the way, or in Daffodil Delight, or I could color them in, oh, I don't know, like Coastal Cabana. That would be nice, and it will coordinate. I could also color them in Night of Navy, and that would still look good, or both of these colors, by the way. I could use yellow. By the way, I love crushed curry for my yellow for watercoloring. It's really up to you. You can choose whatever colors you want on this. So I'm going to go ahead and start the coloring process. Oh, I just realized I do not have my little water with me, which is not good because I don't know if my aqua painters have water in them. Oh, this one's empty and this one's practically empty. Okay, I might have to make, oh, maybe this has enough water in it to get us going. But oh, that one's, I might have to make a super quick trip to the bathroom. Give me 1 second so I can grab my water. Oh, so sorry about that. I forgot to double check the water status of my water painters because they don't always have water in them. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of water. I've got, you can use a paper towel. I happen to have a burp rag here, an old burp rag from my kids. My baby is turning 18 this week, you guys. How did that happen? Ooh, Sweet Sorbet would be another good color for this card. Gosh, maybe we should do that. Kind of change things up a little bit. I'm going to go with Sweet Sorbet. Even though Coastal Cabana, the color that lets us know God loves us, is the perfect choice. All right. Now, when I put this on here, I am going to be covering up part of this. So you kind of have to decide which part do you want to cover up. This part right here, so we see these 3 blooms, or this part over here, so we see this sideways and this bloom. It doesn't really matter. I kind of like this way better. So keeping that in mind, I'm only going to color a little bit of that one. All right, so I'm just picking up the ink in here. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, and then I'm going to color. And I love watercoloring. I think the easiest thing to do in this case for a quick watercoloring is to just kind of go over the whole bloom with a lighter color. And then what's glorious about watercolor paper, and by the way, this will not work on regular cardstock. First of all, the cardstock will pill because it can't handle the water content. And then also, it will buckle too much because it's not heavy enough. Watercolor paper is both heavy and designed to handle extra water. Okay, so back to how I do this. I'm just going to go over everything with a light it's called a wash of color. And then I'm going to come back and add details with darker, less watered down color. So more ink, less water. Okay, and let's go over this a little further just to be sure. All right, so I added some water to this. I'm going to pick up some more color. You can also, by the way, use your re-inkers for this, and that works really nicely. And then look at that. I've got darker towards the center, lighter as it blends. Just like we use our Stampin' Blends, or the coloring we use with Stampin' Blends. Oh, that's like some sort of fuzz. Get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go a little darker on the same areas I do with my blends. So where there's lines, we're putting more color. Generally towards the center of each petal, or the base of each petal. And then the other fun thing about watercolor is you can go outside the lines, and it is completely socially acceptable. Encouraged even. And also, if it's not completely even, that's also not only encouraged, but accepted practice in watercolor. So it really is easy to do. And this is the kind of stuff we'll learn in Watercolor Stamp Camp. I might call it something else. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. And then the other beauty is you can kind of take away color with a clean brush. All right, so that was pretty easy, right? Sometimes I like to soften that edge between what I colored and what I didn't, but I do like the look of that generally. Okay, let's clean our brush off and we'll pull in some Granny Apple Green. By the way, one of my favorite things about watercolor is just the look, and the look of watercolor also really comes into play based on the paper. And that's again where regular cardstock often does not fit the bill. It just doesn't work. So I'm putting some dark area and then I'm blending it out. That's a little bit more how I did my Stampin' Blends. So you can really do either way. I guess I didn't have to do all those leaves because they're going to get covered up. Oops. And then I think I picked up some of my pink because that leaf is decidedly orange. Here's the best part. We can just kind of erase it by touching it with our towel. Paper towel works really well for that too, by the way. Okay. I think we've got it all. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna give that a second to dry and just making sure. Yep, we're good. And I like the pop of yellow with the sweet sorbet. I think that's a nice look. Okay. We're going to take and emboss a panel of crumb cake to put on our front of our card. Trying to decide which one to do. I think I'm going to do the Timber 3D embossing folder. and then I'll be right back. Oh, so pretty. Now, what if you don't want to watercolor this? Well, you don't have to. You could just do it embossed, and that would be pretty, you know, just heat emboss it. All right, so I've got my layer of crumb cake that I've embossed onto my card. I've got my card, which is feeling fairly dry. And by the way, you can Wink Estella this as well. That is just fine. Okay. And then I'm going to add this. I feel like this piece is not quite the right size. I think I'll make it a little bigger in your kit because it just doesn't, it's not big enough for this layer. I think I grabbed the wrong size. We're going to just trim this piece to the right size and attach it. And then between the border, we're going to add a little bit of linen thread because linen thread is always a good idea. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is leave myself a few inches on either end of this. I'm trying to make it through this whole live without blowing my nose. We're almost there, Tina. You can, the end is near. You can do it. Okay, so I think this is just such a pretty spring card, but again, you could use so many different colors. Oh, Starry Sky and Tahitian Tide would be really pretty on this. You know, there's just so many possibilities. Okay, so there we go. We've got that, and then we've got our sentiment here. So, I think I'm going to do love endures all things. I think that would be a good kind of sympathy card too. All right. I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green. And we'll stamp that right on there. And actually, I'm going to pull my tails just a little bit longer and put this right over the top of that. So I'm going to attach this directly to my card. Again, kind of kicking myself that the embossing panel of crumb cake isn't 4 by 5 1/4. This must be like 3 3/4 by 5 or something. And then I'll just pop that right over the top. So pretty. Now, I personally believe there is just nothing better than a little splatter on a card like this. So I'm gonna kind of fake it a little here. And I'm trying to cover this up so I can splatter this a little bit. And I think I'm going to splatter it with some yellow to kind of pull the yellow into my card. So to do that, I'm going to take some crushed curry. I'm going to ink up. I'm going to get my water brush nice and wet. And then I'm going to tap this right on here. So just tap it against something. And you can see why I put my little piece over that to protect it. But now I've got splatter, but my words don't look bad. So splatter is one of those things where you kind of get what you get. But it's really fun. You could do it with a marker too. But I do like the look of that. So isn't that so pretty? Okay. Let me bring out my cards. Now, of course, you'll get everything you need to create these cards, the die cut pieces, embossed pieces, and all the good stuff. You just punched pieces. You just add your stamps. And of course, you can use this to set or another large floral set, and it will be just beautiful. Okay, so let's see. Is my watercolor class just for US stampers? No, Marilyn, anybody can do it. Now, I will have a box of, a box of supplies that I can only ship to US addresses, but anybody worldwide can join. Let's see. So I hope you love today's projects. I will be back next week. Don't forget, whether you're watching live with me right now or later, please give me the thumbs up. That helps me so, so much, you guys. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber to my channel, will you subscribe? That also really helps me with the YouTube. They really like that. I hope you just had the best time stamping with me, seeing a little sneak peeks, and just having some good old-fashioned stamping fun. If you're not already part of my email list, please join. Again, the link to that is also in the description of this video. I will be sending out my newsletter. Like I said, I've got one going out tomorrow, and then I'll have one probably later this week with the details of the watercolor stamp camp. Like I said, I'm working on finalizing a few things, but it's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to have a great time. And I hope that you guys have just a fantastic evening and rest of your week. And we'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.